Well, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you and talk to you about something that's really been a passion of mine for a lot of years now, which is about testosterone, and specifically around its relationship to prostate cancer. Most of you trained the same way I did and learned that testosterone was really, really bad for prostate cancer. As a matter of fact, when I came out of my training and started doing work, because I was curious about it with testosterone, I really was very concerned that even though I was learning from my patients how good testosterone could be for them, that it might be a double-edged sword. And even though I was making them feel better and their sexual function was improved and their wives liked the guys more, that maybe I was stimulating some hidden cancer in their prostate that was going to jump up and bite them in the backside at some point. And today what I have to tell you is that old idea and the related ideas about high testosterone being bad and low testosterone being protective looks like it may be totally opposite. So my interest in testosterone, I should be able to say that word after all these years, goes back to when I was 19 years old working as an undergraduate at Harvard in a biology lab. It was a reptile lab, and I worked with lizards. And this is Anolis carolinensis. These are the little American chameleons that if you see them in Florida or in the Bahamas, they run up the side of the walls. And on the top you see a male, and sort of on the underside of that branch is a female. And when the male sees the female, if he's got his testicles intact, this bright colored flap of skin comes out called a dewlap, as you see here. And the head of the male goes up and down very quickly. We call it a stuttering push-up. And it's almost as if the male is saying to the female, yeah, 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 yeah. The female does a very stately push-up back that says, okay, I'm here, I'm kind of interested, let's see what you got, buddy. The male comes closer, dewlap comes out, head goes up and down, yeah, 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 yeah. They repeat this a few times, and then finally they mate. If you feel bad for the female from this picture, don't. She only gets caught if she wants to. Kind of just like human mating under most circumstances. But it was known that if you castrated the male and removed their testosterone, you'd put the male in with the female in the cage, and they would do nothing. The female would sometimes do a little push-up and say, hey, buddy, here I am, what are you doing? And the male didn't care, because his testosterone level was essentially zero. It was known that you could put little pellets underneath the skin of the animals, the males, restore their testosterone, and they would go through their behavior. But my experiment, which was unbelievably cool for a 19-year-old undergraduate, was to actually place tiny amounts of crystalline testosterone in the sexual centers of the brain, the anterior hypothalamus and the preoptic area, based on work we had done that showed that those areas took up testosterone. And when we put small amounts of testosterone, when we got in the right parts of the brain, we'd put this castrated male in with the female. He would see the female. The dewlap would come out, head would go up and down, yeah, 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 and they would mate. Circulating levels of testosterone in those males was zero. Undetectable. Their tails come off. That's the way you check their blood, right? They have a little drop of blood. So I worked in that lab for a few years, and what I certainly got out of it was that testosterone was a brain hormone. That putting testosterone in the brain alone was enough to restore and control the entire range of male sexual behavior. That was pretty cool. Then I went through medical school and my urology training, and I learned about testosterone and DHT along the way, but in a very limited way. It was important, obviously, for puberty for males. It was involved in male sexual development, genital development in the fetus. But the idea, when I finished in 1980...